subject to challenge by a point of order, which I would like to make a point of order, but we don't have that information if that's been done yet or not, because I didn't see it in the packets.
That is correct. I am not advised of what the county parties do, so I can't give you an answer.
And did the state chairman, because we shall, is both.
Anyone who came up to the state party to file, we've done that, yes.
Okay, and they have signed off on it. We have a copy where,
There are candidates who would disagree and will not sign, but it doesn't tell us that we have to make them sign it. It just tells us that we have to provide it, and we have done that.
all of these
Mr.
intersections,
Chairman?
we have theirs.
I have a point of order. Are we on?
No,
members
we're
on?
no, we're not. We're not there yet.
Okay.
Let's do this. Yeah.
So do we have a copy of each of the ones that have been censured to include,
I'm not advised on that, sir.
okay, and Speaker Burrows, was he
I'm not advised on
Gates
that.
County Chair?
I'm not advised on that, sir.
Okay, then I move that we table this until we find out what's been happening, if this is evidence or not. You can't go into court half-cocked.
Mr. Chairman, there's a motion on the floor at the moment that we're debating, so is.
Yeah, it's a point of
relevant
information.
to
It
bring up?
comes that. Yeah, thank you, though. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. I'm gonna need to read that one more time. Give me 1 second. We're gonna
Put
take
up
a
a
one.
board that everybody reads. 43.
Walter, I'm gonna rule your point of order out of order because it is not germane to the rule itself, the 44 itself. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to speak in opposition to the amendment.
Of the motion?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Lydia Covey, SD3. Members, we don't have the right to ignore the rules that the delegates voted on at state convention last year. And I don't think we have the right to ignore the request of the counties, the 10 counties that sent these resolution censors to us. They put a lot of work and a lot of effort and a lot of research and thought into this, and to just in one sweep say we're not even going to consider something that 9 out of the 10 censor resolutions request, I do not think that's right. And what a way to start off a meeting where we are trying to hold people accountable to our priorities and our legislative priorities and our platform. What a way to start it out by just ignoring a rule that the delegates fought hard to put in their last convention. So I am strongly opposed to this.
Rolando, are you in favor of the motion? Yes, sir.
Rolando Garcia, SD15. We have all had 2 weeks to look at these resolutions, and I do think some of them merit penalties 1 and 2, some don't merit any, and we can go and debate that. But what's very clear is that none of them even come close to meriting penalty 3, the political equivalent of the death penalty. And we need to send a message to activists that penalty 3 is not a toy, it's not a game, it is not a political strategy. It is for the worst of the worst, and none of these merit it, and we've all had time to review the resolutions. And a lot of people talk about what the grassroots want. The grassroots are not just 4 or 5 people blowing up your phone or a few hysterics on a Rule 44 signal chat. The grassroots are the 6 billion Trump voters who don't know who we are, who don't know what Rule 44 is, don't know who Dustin Burrows is, but they're counting on RPT to work hand in glove with the White House. And we know adopting penalty 3 in this instance will torch our relationship with the White House, in addition to imperiling the future of penalty 3. Because if we go to court on one of these 9 cases, we will lose, and we will lose the option of penalty 3 in the future. I am asking my fellow SRECs to focus on the closed primary lawsuit, to preserve the future viability of penalty 3, and to protect our relationship with the White House by voting for this amendment.
Thank you. Are you in opposition of this?
I am opposition.
Okay, you can speak.
Okay. Number 5, ST7. The Texas Republican Party is the only Republican Party in the nation that governs from the bottom up, not the top down. If we need to change the rules, this happens at the convention, not by the top down. Our delegates and our grassroots are the heartbeat of this state. Our legislative priorities were passed on the backs of our grassroots. And they've worked hard to come today with these censures, and we need to at least give them the courtesy of taking each one individually and look at it, vote on it, and we work for them. So that's what they've asked for. We need to deliver.
Thank you. Are you in opposition or favor?
Opposition.
Okay, do I have anyone in favor? Okay, Jim Pickle, you're recognized.
Jim Pickle, SDA. Mr. Chairman, there's been some commentary about what the rules require, what the rules allow. Shall and may are different in law, in statutory construction. Rule 44 does not say the SREC shall impose the penalties given to them or recommended by the counties. It doesn't say that. If it said that, I would agree. We don't have any choice. It doesn't say that. It says we may, which means it's up to us. It's not mandatory. It's discretionary. So don't go into this thinking the rule requires you to consider penalty 3, because the rules don't say that. In fact, they say exactly the opposite. It's discretionary, not mandatory. That's why we are here today, is to decide on 1, 2, or 3 penalties and whether or not we're going to concur in the censure resolution. Those are all up to us. None of those are mandatory. So just don't go into this thinking we don't have any choice because the rules require us to consider whatever the counties threw up to us and pass it. Because that's not what the rules say. If we go that way, that would be out of order. I yield.
Thank you. Give me 1 second. I'll come back. So I'm going to recognize Paul Hale. Instead of 3 and 3, we are going 4 and 4. Just this time, we won't do it again. Paul, that way it's equal. I don't want to sway one way or the other.
Yes, sir. Paul Anthony Hale, SD1. These counties worked very hard to do this, and these counties done this individually. Some done it individually on one candidate, but all of them done it individually across the state. And these candidates are not all created equally. They're not censured equally, but there's 2 or 3 on there that's very, very egregious, and I do disagree with my colleague Rolando. Some of them do deserve number 3, and we should evaluate these one at a
I'm going
time.
to need the audience to stay quiet. Yes, sir.
That's all, thank you.
Thank you. We have 3 and 4 and 4 instead of 3 and 3. That's my mistake. Seeing no other discussion,
Point of information. Did that rule pass that was unlimited, or is that not during now?
not for this, for the censure itself.
Thank you.
We are still under RPT rules. We're going to go to a vote. All in favor of Steve Evans's amendment to strike number 3, penalty number 3 from all 10 resolutions, actually 9 resolutions, please say aye. Aye. All opposed say nay. Nay. I'm going to go with the nays. All right, the division having called, all in favor, please stand.
Roll call. I demand a roll call. I have the numbers.
Yes, sir. Do we have this? Do we have the clickers? All right. will technically require 20%, but we're gonna go do it. We're gonna point at Micah. It's divided. I'm gonna do the roll call unless you guys make me a roll call on the demand itself. Just do the roll call. All right, all in favor of the amendment, please click 1A. All in opposition, please click not Steve Evans, Micah. You gotta click here. Don't point at me, I don't have the receiver.
Not working.
This is the motion to strike penalty 3 from all resolutions. Please point it at Chad or Micah. Chad, move. All done. One will agree with Steve Evans on the amendment. 2 will disagree with Steve Evans on his amendment, and 3 is abstaining. 1 is for the motion, 2 is against the motion, 3 is to abstain.
Susan Townsend, Walter West, Chairman Mike. Everybody look for your vote.
Do we have everyone? Micah? If we don't have you, we will tell you. Give us a second. All right, it is 28 yeas and 33 nays. The motion fails. Now we're back on the resolution itself.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, the first resolution we have in our report is the resolution of Speaker Justin Burrows. This is in concurrence with the Brazos County censure. There are 3 alleged actions of violations of the principles and or legislative priorities. The requested penalties are penalties 1 and 2 only in this concurrence. The details of each alleged actions are in the documents that Rachel has covered. If you also want to go back and look at there's another document in your folder if you want to look at that. It's called censure resolutions for consideration, and starting on page 6, those 3 are laid out for Speaker Burrows. The 3 that are alleged for the speaker are the speaker vote, which are record votes 2 and 3. That was allegation 1. Allegation 2 is House Resolution 4, which is the rules package, record votes 9 and 10. And the third one for Speaker Burrows is the Democrat sub-chair appointments, and that was allegation number 3. So those are the 3 allegations that are brought for us for Speaker Dustin Burrows. And with that, Mr. Chairman, on behalf of the Resolutions Committee, I move the adoption of the resolution of concurrence for Speaker Dustin Burrows.
Mr. Chairman, point of order.
Yes, sir.
The resolution is out of order as it does not contain 3 valid offenses to censure under Rule 44.
Can you put up the resolution itself? Scroll up. Can you make a motion to strike 1, or are you telling me that
I'm asking you to rule on my point of order that it is out of order.
Sorry, that's the job.
Yeah, I'm not ruling out of order on the resolution, sir.
Mr. Chairman, I appeal from your decision.
All right? I got a script on this. The decision. This is all right. We need a second. All right, we have a decision, we have a motion to appeal the decision of the chair, and it requires a second. I got a second. The decision of the chair has been appealed, and there is a second. The chair may choose to speak first in a debate on an appeal, and that has the right to speak, and also has the right to speak last. All right. The chair will speak first, then we'll go to debate. I don't have a long speech. I think if someone wants to strike a specific line item from the resolution, I am all for it. I do not think it is in our best interest to rule out entire resolutions without having a debate on the items itself. So I may agree with Steve on this, on the resolution itself. It is a very, very weak resolution. Be very honest with you, I read it, I'm like, it's not a resolution that will be defended anywhere. But I also believe the grassroots have the right to be heard in this body. This body represents them, so we can debate that. That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, the grassroots have been heard. They have put forth the censure resolution. They censured the speaker in their county. That's not going to change. I don't believe it's valid, and a point of order is valid to raise against it, because I don't believe that these offenses meet the criteria. First of all, per principle number 5, personal accountability and responsibility. You're going to hear this all day today. We have used that as a catch-all to grab the entire platform and censure members on it. And to say that the speaker's not allowed to vote for himself, that's pretty interesting. The second offense simply deals with the gavel. The speaker has a right and a requirement, because he's the speaker, to operate the gavel. The actions that he took in the rules package to say he did this, we can't prove that. He functionally managed the House so that the House could adopt their rules package. There's absolutely no proof, and that is invalid. That takes us down to 1. That's not enough to censure, therefore this is out of order. I would ask people to vote to overturn the chair. Make sure, Mr. Chairman, that we are clear about how this works in the final vote, because it's backwards from most people think. Thank you, I yield.
I understand. Thank you. I did not, anyone speaking in favor of my ruling? Okay?
Yes, I speak in favor of it. I'm 100% for freedom of speech, Mr. Chair, as I believe you are today too. And I believe we're here as a body of 64, not 1. And the problem is that much as I understand Steve desiring to do this, and I even respect, trying whatever parliamentary procedure he can, I think that we should all debate. We should all be debating this together. I want to hear from everyone. And what we would do if we voted in favor of what Steve wants is just hear from him. And in fact, what we actually need to do is hear from everybody, so we have no fear in the Republican Party of hearing from more than one person, so that we can hear the fors and the against and then make a decision based upon that. And I think that's what we're here for today, not to rule out resolutions that the resolutions committee has already considered, but to come before us and to look at the pluses and minuses of them and vote as an entire body after we have debated and heard from one another. So I'm 100% in favor of your ruling, allowing us all to hear from one another, because I respect everybody on this body.
Thank you. Are you in support of Steve's motion?
I'm in support of my chairman's motion.
All right, well, thank you, but you can't speak yet. Anyone support that? Do appreciate
In
it.
support of Steve's motion, Jim
Okay.
Bickman, SD8. The committee, which I was on, when we were going through these, if it was technically accurate, we let it come to the body, even though our committee said, man, this is terrible. We still said it's technically accurate. You can take it up on the floor and decide it there. So this exact point came up during our committee. And we're here now on the floor, like the chairman of the resolutions committee told us we could do, pointing out that this resolution is out of order. So the vote needs to be taken on whether it is out of order or not. And you have now, one person circumvented that issue by one person. Everybody in here needs to vote on that. So your ruling is out of order. Thank you.
Or are you in favor of my ruling?
I am, Mr.
All right,
Chairman.
you better be good. Let's go.
It's very good. Steve, I wanted to rebut one thing that you said about it not being under personal accountability. My name is Paul Anthony Hale. I'm from SD1. It was a violation of that because he broke the rules. He broke caucus rules in order to do it. And furthermore, he broke the rule that he wrote to do it. Thank you.
Thank you. I think I'm gonna end the debate unless there's someone in favor. Are you in favor of Steve's motion? Well, yeah. I think we have an understanding, even if not, let's just take time to finish this. So, we had a debate. The question is, shall the decision of the chair be sustained? All of those in favor of sustaining the decision of the chair, say aye. Aye. All opposed? In sustaining the decision of the chair, say no. No. No, it's okay. We're gonna go to the clicker. Let's make it fast.
Mr. Chairman, to be clear,
Yes.
if a yes vote or a number one vote supports you overruling the point of order,
That's right.
a no vote supports my objection to your
That is
ruling.
correct.
And if they vote no, then the borough censure is thrown out.
That's correct.
Thank you.
One will support my ruling. Two will support Steve's motion to rule out the motion, resolution against Speaker Brooks. Does that make sense?
I like it though.
And we have Kelly, Patrick Wamall. Push the button, Patrick. I'm trying.
Pointed at Micah.
Point of information.
Give me 1 second. We're finishing the vote. All right. It requires 2/3 to overrule the chairman's decision. Is that right? 39 to sustain is, what do we got?
Here, I'm going back, sorry.
Just for the record, I'm going to abstain throughout the day because I do have to defend whatever you decide in court. All right, what is the numbers? 21, 39, yeah, it is sustained. My ruling sustained, so we are back at the resolution itself. Do I have any discussion on the resolution?
Against Rolando Garcia, SD15. One of of these three alleged violations, only one is legit. The speaker vote is not a violation, guys, and I'll explain why. We already decided it's not a violation of the LP. So now they're trying to sneak it in as a violation of a principle. They're saying if you violate a platform plank, you violate a principle, and that's a Rule 44 violation. So that creates we have 300 planks, so that creates 300 Rule 44 violations. I'm sorry, guys. I know it sucks that they didn't follow the vote for the caucus nominee, but the speaker vote is not a Rule 44 violation. I would also add that this is coming from 3 counties. It's not coming from Dustin's own district. Now, the rule allows it to come from outside his own district, but it's worth noting that the Lubbock County Executive Committee passed a resolution against this censure. His own precinct chairs overwhelmingly support Dustin Burrows. So you can't vote for this and claim that we're grassroots and bottom up. What it means is that you're only for the grassroots who agree with you. And if the grassroots don't agree with you, then you're not with them. I would also add, what is the practical effect of this? If we vote for this, Dustin Burrows will still be Speaker, and he will be the nominee of the Republican caucus next term. So we will have torched our relationship with the House Speaker. Last year, when we censured Dave Phelan, he didn't even come to speak to us. He gave us the middle finger. Clearly, Speaker Burrows is at least making an effort. He spoke to us. And I know we disagree on a lot of things with him, but he is at least making an effort. So since he's still going to be Speaker next term, let's preserve this relationship and try to get more of our priorities passed.
Thank you, Rolando. Are you in opposition? Well, I'm assuming you're not, right? Yes, ma'am.
Yes, so I just want to, Janera Lewis, SD 27.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Speaker Burrows spoke to us today, and in part only. He asked us that if we needed to go against somebody, that we could go against him. So we're not going to torture relationship. And I just want to add that a principle is part of our preamble. It is not a plank. It is part of our preamble, and that is part of our Rule 44 censure process. Thank you.
Steve Evans, SD 28, I just want to, you know where I stand. I'm not going to change any more minds. But I'm going to tell you that it did not violate caucus rules. Caucus rules do not require the members to vote for the caucus pick. It says they should. I sent a copy out to all of you. Speaker Burrows was instrumental in drafting those caucus rules and originally had that rule in it that said that they were bound to vote. Other conservative members of the caucus didn't like it, and they changed it to should. So we haven't broken any rules there. As for torching a relationship, that's not what Dustin Burrows was talking about this morning. Censure me and I'll take the heat. He's taking responsibility. But if you think for 1 second by doing this you're not going to torch a relationship, it's going to seriously strain the relationship with the speaker. Why wouldn't it? So I encourage you, don't support this. It is very, very weak. It doesn't meet the threshold. The Lubbock County Republican Party unanimously voted to support the speaker and to take one very minute fraction, teeny tiny fraction of the voters in this state to say, we're going to censure the speaker, we don't care. I don't like that part of Rule 44 myself. It's my district, it's my member. We'll decide who's on the ballot for us. Thank you.
Thank you. Are you in favor of this? I'm assuming you are not in favor of the censure. All right, so can we move on to the vote? I think almost everyone knows where to be at. Okay? What are you?
Leslie Thomas, SD 22. I'd like to correct the record. Speaker vote does violate Rule 44, and even though the task force did not consider it, I believe that that was an oversight because the Rural Task Force Committee did consider it. And when it came time to vote on that, I think it was 7 for, 5 against, but it did not reach the 2/3 vote. And so our chairman said that we would take it up at the task force, which it was not taken up. So I'm telling you now that Rule 44 does cover the speaker's vote.
I do.
And I'm not talking in the caucus, I'm talking, on the floor.
Okay, thank you. Jane?
Jane Cancino, Senatorial District 28. I've been working with Dustin Burrows for 11 years. I was his district director. All the name calling of him being an rhino is just totally inaccurate. He's voted for and led on so many conservative issues. Let's spell the rhino right, R-H-I-N-O. Thick-skinned and charging for conservative values. This man has worked night and day. He admitted this morning, he humbled himself and he said not everything was perfect. Why don't we try persuasion, influence, where we want him to change and see what happens. I've seen it in Lubbock over and over and over, and not one censure came from the whole Senatorial District 28, which has 41 counties.
All right, thank you, ma'am. If someone needs to end the debate, someone needs to make that motion, just because I want you guys to remember that. All right. Hold on. Are you in favor?
I'm in favor of Steve Evans' yes motion.
No, he didn't have a motion.
They're striking the resolution, right?
Right.
Well, we're in the middle of speaking.
We're on the resolution itself. We move past all of that.
I'm against.
Okay, so are you in favor of keeping the resolution? And then
I am much in favor of keeping it. Paul Anthony Hale, SD1. This is the face that led, this is the man that led the 25 out of the Republican caucus. And he worked very, very hard. I agree with Jane. He worked very, very hard for the Democrats this session. And his first move was all about Democrats. So she sang his praises, and so I want to tell of what she knew about him, and I want to say what I know about him. I never heard of him until we were in our meeting south of town down here. And I was rejoicing. Sid Miller sent me the text, said feelings out. And all of you remember when I announced it, we rejoiced. And then all of a sudden, 11th hour, Dustin Burrows became the candidate. And it all became about bashing David Cook. He had been there all along. I'd never heard of Burrows. And he's the candidate that led the Democrats to H.R. 4 and stole our agenda from us and turned our legislature upside down this past session. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jim Pickle, SD8. 2 points. Rule 444 does not contain a prohibition on voting for the speaker. It doesn't say that. Also, Principle 5, personal accountability and responsibility. I dare anybody in this room to tell me one thing that I can't cram into that language. One thing. And that's what Steve said. They don't have one of the 8 priorities. They don't have one of the 10 principles. So what they're going to do is they're just going to cram all the blanks into this ambiguous, amorphous, overbroad, personal accountability and responsibility. That goes against Rule 44. It has to be a legitimate strike on one of those things. And Principle 5, personal responsibility and accountability, great aspiration, but it's so broad it means nothing. And we can't be just cramming everything into that, like all the planks. Or we don't like this person. Why isn't that a violation of personal accountability and responsibility? Define that for me. Before you're going to use it as a motion for a strike, define it clearly where you can tell what's in it and what's out of it. You can't do it.
I'm going to ask, thank you, Steve. Jim, how many minutes left? We have 10 minutes left. Do we want to continue the debate or end the debate and go to vote?
Continue the debate.
Sorry?
Continue the debate.
Continue the debate, yes ma'am. Are you in opposition of?
I'm in opposition to the resolution.
Okay, we just had an opposition. Are you in favor of the resolution?
I wanted to speak in favor of it in specific ways.
Okay.
I just want to encourage the body on every resolution that we consider today, and it also applies to this one, that we consider it for its merits alone. And that is whether or not it is censurable or not is our first vote. And then secondly, if it is censurable, then what should we do penalty-wise? To consider all these other things that I hear that we're not, some are being discussed here, some are not, in terms of what the implications of our vote may be for a lawsuit, or whether or not somebody's relationship will be heard. I'm not targeting anybody, but I am saying this. That is not what we're here to consider. We're here to consider whether someone should be censured or not based upon what's in this resolution. To do anything other than that is to do the opposite of what we asked the legislature to do. We call them to say, okay, look, you gotta vote for a pro-life bill, or you gotta vote to support traditional family, and we know you're gonna face tremendous opposition, or maybe lawsuits, but we're gonna call you and encourage you to do it in the face of what may happen when you do the right thing, and when you consider properly everything that comes before you. So all these things in terms of the implications of what we vote for need to be just set aside. And what we need to be talking about is what's in the resolution of whether or not the censure should be valid or not. If it's valid, then the implications for those of us that are courageous, which I hope are all of us, should be to press forward with validity. If it's invalid, then the implications should be to press forward with invalidity. But in no time should we say, well, let's not do this because doing the right thing might cost us something. So let's just set that aside and say, let's consider whether this resolution and the others are valid or invalid based upon the censurable thing. And then secondly, if we do consider them valid, let's decide what penalty we would give.
Are you in favor of the resolution or against
I'm
it?
opposed to the resolution.
Yes, ma'am.
Tony Trevino, Senate District 21. I'm here to speak on behalf of the grassroots of Dustin Burrows.
Can you give me 1 second?
Yes.
Chad, I need you to do the 2-minute timing for me. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm here to speak on behalf of the grassroots of Dustin Burrows District. He represents 11 counties in the Panhandle. All of those counties, none of them chose to censure their representative. There were 17,297 Republicans who went out to vote in the Republican primary in his district. They voted for him. He won with 68% of the vote. There were 15 people, 15. You can count that on your hands and on your toes, on your feet. 15 people who voted to censure him in a county that he does not even represent. So 15 people would remove the voice of 17,297 voters. Those are the grassroots.
Thank you, ma'am. Anyone in opposition, in favor of the
I call the question.
Thank you. You guys remember this? Remember this. Do I have a second? All right, we have a question and a second. Yeah. All in favor of calling the question, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, say nay. The ayes have it.
I don't get to speak.
No, ma'am, not anymore.
Okay.
Call the question has been passed. Now, the question on the floor is the resolution itself. Now, if you support the resolution in censuring Dustin Burrows, this is concurring with the resolution coming from, what's the county name? Brazos County. If you we will do the concurrence first, then we'll do the penalties later, right after this. So the first question is, do we want to censure? Do we concur on the language that the county has sent us? In all in favor of saying we do concur with the county, say aye, or no, press 1. All opposed, press B, or 2. And if you want to abstain, C or 3. So all in favor of concurring, 1A, opposed 2B, and if you're abstaining, 3C. Jerry Fisher. All right. The resolution takes 3/5 and it fails. Since the resolution failed, we will now go to penalties. Next resolution. Hey guys, Jen, are you here? Can we do lunch? All right, let's take a 30-minute lunch. We are at 12:48. We're gonna, hold on. Yeah, so the lunch starts at right now, and I want the SREC members and the officers to go down to the, where we met this morning. You have lunch provided. If anyone else is here, you're welcome to have lunch only after the SREC members and officers, because we only prepare for the SREC members and the officers lunch today. So 30 minutes, it is 12:50.